Richard Hart announced that they will be pushing the Shanghai upgrade onto PulseChain in the next few hours. So this is one of the major upgrades that PulseChain needs in order for mainnet to come out live. Now, I made a video a few weeks ago when I said that I think that the one thing that we need to wait for before PulseChain launch was the Shanghai upgrade. The Shanghai upgrade is important because it allows you to withdraw your staked on Ethereum is to withdraw your staked Ethereum, on Pulse is to withdraw your staked Pulse. And so some people argued and said that no, Richard Hart it doesn't matter, all you want to do is launch it. But the most important thing about this upgrade was this, right? It allows you to withdraw, so which is an important feature. But not only that, it took Ethereum guys a long time to release this upgrade. I mean, it was postponement after postponement after postponement. So if Richard Hart would have launched PulseChain without the Shanghai upgrade, we would have to fight the same battles that the Ethereum guys fought unnecessarily, right? Because anytime you upgrade the network, you're going to find bugs. And so we would need to go through the same pain that they went through, and which is, in my view, unnecessary. So the best thing to do was to wait for the Ethereum Shanghai upgrade and then launch after that. So we're going to be having that in the next few hours. So which I think should be the biggest impediment for PulseChain launch. And after that, we should be having it live. Now, Ivan Ontek has famously said that he expects PulseChain to launch any day from now, in a few days this week. That has been his prediction, and he's been pushing it hard on Twitter. And I think that that's a reasonable prediction, because once we have this live and we have a few days of people testing it out, withdrawing their Pulse, their stake Pulse, and all that other good stuff, I think from there's really nothing else to wait for. From there, it should be all systems go, and we should be ready for the launch. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is something that we've been seeing in the news for the past few weeks as well, right? Which is a lot of countries starting to de-dollarize. And by that I mean that they're starting to say, we want to find an alternative to the US dollar. We don't want to use the US dollar anymore. And look, it will take a lot for anyone to try and disrupt the dollar, right? It's something that could seem impossible. But the one thing that I've started to notice for the past few days is that we're hearing story after story after story about countries that are signing deals to have trade outside of the dollar. And if you know anything about these agreements between countries, is that they're not an overnight thing. These deals take months and years to negotiate. So that means that behind the scenes, for the most part, China, it seems that they've been the one that seem to be leading this push. China has been courting countries, talking to them, telling them, look, let's ditch the dollar for the past at least for a year now, because these deals do not happen overnight. And when you see that happening, right, you see the China signing these deals. Now, most people argue that, well, China is mostly signing these deals with countries that are mostly not as developed, not as rich. Their share of global trade is low. But I think one thing that people need to understand is that for the most part, right, population growth in those emerging countries is greater than in most Western countries. So the potential for growth, the potential for economic growth is higher in those poorer countries. And another thing is that population is on the decline in richer countries. So that means that their share of world trade is going to decrease. Because, I mean, if you have less people, yeah, you buy less cars, right? That means you have less economic activity. You buy less wine, you buy less iPhones if you have less people. You don't need more iPhones with less people. So the countries that are at the top right now, they're decreasing in population. The countries that are rising in population are these countries that are making these deals with China. And I think that though they might not have a massive impact, they're going to definitely eat some of the market share of the US dollar. Now, why does this all matter? It matters for one thing, right? That we've got competing interests right now. One thing is certain, there will definitely be some kind of a new world order at some point, right? So that means that either China will take over because they seem to be leading the charge in terms of fiat, in terms of displacing the dollar. Or maybe they might not take over, or maybe they might start competing and maybe have a deal where maybe China's, because I think last time I checked, they're about 7% of global trade. They might push that up to maybe 20%. The US last time I checked was about 60%, somewhere there. That might decrease to maybe 50 or even below 40s. But I think for the most part, ordinary people will have to make a choice. Now, the other competing interest out of this is crypto. Because crypto offers another solution that is not state-backed, that is of the people. That is something that came ground up from the people that are bringing it to the world. So I think that those two competing interests, there's the Chinese, and then there's obviously the US would like to maintain the global order that we have right now because they're the dominant force, and it gives them incredible power to be able to use sanctions as a tool to be able to punish countries that they don't like or who have done something that they don't approve of. It gives them incredible power. So you've got the US, you've got China, and then you've got crypto. But I do think that all of this, in terms of competitiveness, I think that you cannot deny that crypto is going to be the dominating force because of the incentive structure of crypto. Crypto is so, it's built in a way that it's just it's an onboarding mechanism that just brings more people, and it feeds into some of those things, right? Like greed, some of those really raw human emotions. Because we are, for most of us, right, we are so deeply entrenched in the crypto space. It's almost like we've dedicated our lives to this, and this is just a technology. So you can think about it that if it continues to scale the way it's scaling right now, I don't think that there's any superpower or any power that will be able to actually compete against crypto on a level playing field. So all in all, I think that we're at a unique point in time right now where all these forces are coming together to fight. And I think that crypto is the one that is kind of no one is looking at, no one is thinking about. Because everyone is talking about, well, China signed a deal with Brazil, China signed a deal with Argentina, with Kenya. They're doing all these deals, right? And no one is talking about crypto, but crypto is definitely will start eating up into more and more of that. And we actually saw that with stable coins for the most part that have been really taking up market share of peer-to-peer transactions. But I think over time, crypto is going to be a much more important factor in the space. And that's why I think that it's important for the most people to get into crypto and start learning about it and start understanding it so that they don't get left out when we do go to the moon. Because if you think about it, if the prize is global trade, global everything, all financial transactions, and we currently have, well, we do have a good number of people, right? Including Bitcoin, Ethereum, we currently have about 100 million people or 200 million people in crypto. But if the market is 8 billion people, imagine the price growth, imagine the price appreciation. Look at PulseChain, right? I think about 100,000 people sacrificed for PulseX, right? About 40,000 for PulseChain. Think about it, if we scale it to 1 million people, scale it to 10 million, 100 million, and all that growth. And so the size of this of the pie is huge, and this could be game changing, and it could really mean a lot of wealth created. All in all, let me know what you think about all of this, and let me know if you're excited about the PulseChain update. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.